If you watch Pokémon anime, you probably know all about shipping. Shipping is something fans do when they like the chemistry between two characters and imagine them as a couple. It's a huge part of the Pokémon fandom. However, today we aren't talking about the ships that look great together. Today, we are talking about characters who might be friends, but look terrible as a couple. I've ranked these randomly. Being at number 5 doesn't mean it's better than number 1. They are all pretty bad. At number 5, we have red shipping. It's the shipping between Ash and Jessie. I honestly don't know where people get these ideas. Shipping Ash with Jessie is just diabolical. Some people ship them just because of their physical height difference or forced scenarios, but it's just wrong. Jessie is a grown-ass woman around 20 to 25, and Ash is a 10-year-old kid, which is a massive age gap. It would make Jessie a pedophile who is grooming a 10-year-old kid. Also, they are enemies, and Team Rocket has spent years trying to steal Ash's Pikachu. There is no love chemistry here whatsoever. It's just weird and creepy to pair a child with an adult antagonist. At number 4, we have the shipping between Ash and Iris. Well, personally, she is one of my favorite Pokegirl, but I just don't ship her with Ash. And to be honest, I don't ship her with anyone at all. But back to my point. Their dynamic was often more like a bickering brother and sister than a romantic couple. Iris constantly called Ash a kid or childish, which created a power dynamic where she looked down on him. Because of their constant arguing and her teasing nature, many fans feel they lack the mutual respect needed for a good romantic ship. At number 3, we have Paul and Dawn, often referred to as Ikari shipping. This is one of the most baffling pairings in the fandom because their personalities are polar opposites in a way that doesn't actually attract. Paul is the ultimate stoic and pretends to be the alpha male type shit and all. He is cold, clinical, and views Pokemon and often people merely as tools for power. Dawn, on the other hand, is high energy, emotional, and deeply values the heart and style of training.
Why not stay and watch? What's wrong?
What's wrong? Who are you?
Excuse me, your rudeness, but we've met once before. The name's Dawn.
Don't remember.
You think you're funny, don't ya? Listen, mister, you nasty, insulting, spoiled brat, apologize!
Throughout the Diamond and Pearl series, Paul barely gave Dawn the time of day, often not even remembering her name. While some fans love the grumpy ex-Sunshine trope, in this case, it feels one-sided and logically impossible. Paul doesn't have the emotional maturity to support someone as expressive as Dawn, and Dawn's need for encouragement would be met with a brick wall. It's a ship that exists entirely in fan fiction, as the anime shows zero romantic potential. So, on number 2, we have Gary and Misty, sometimes called ego shipping. This ship is largely a relic of the very early seasons of the anime. It mostly stems from the fact that they are both classic characters who have a shared connection to Ash. However, looking at their actual interactions, there is almost nothing there. Derry was a flamboyant, arrogant trainer with his own cheerleading squad, and Misty was a hot-headed girl with a low tolerance for show-offs. If they were actually together, they would likely spend the entire time shouting at each other. Misty needs someone who can handle her temper with patience, and Gary, especially in his younger days, was too full of himself to provide that. Beyond a few witty barbs exchanged in the Kanto region, they moved in completely different circles. Very eventually became a serious researcher, while Misty returned to her gym, leaving this ship with no common ground and even less chemistry. Also, I think that Dawn x Gary is a better ship than him with Misty, because Dawn had more interactions with him than he did with Misty. So, taking the top spot for the worst ship is Clement and Serena, often called geek chick shipping. This is like the participation trophy of Pokémon ships. It only exists because fans looked at the group and realized Clement was like the only guy left who wasn't a 10-year-old in a hat. Shipping them is just confusing, you know? Like trying to pair a gourmet cupcake with a graphing calculator. Serena, she spent the whole journey staring longingly at Ash, while Clement spent it staring longingly at a circuit board. Their chemistry is basically non-existent. If they ever went on a date, they'd probably just sit in a 45-minute awkward silence until Clement's romantic mood-maker robot exploded in their faces. It's not a love story, it's just a desperate attempt to make sure nobody goes home single.
And his name is John C.
And that's the list. Whether it's an age gap that makes us hit the report button, a total lack of chemistry, or just two characters who would probably be the most captivating ones that ever need us to say about them, these ships definitely belong in the Never Gonna Happen Hall of Fame. But hey, that's just my take. The Pokemon world is massive, and half the fun is debating these things. Do you think I was too harsh on Clement and Serena? Or is there a ship out there even more cursed than Ash and Jessie that I completely missed? Maybe something involving a legendary Pokemon and a bike? Thanks for watching, stay awesome, and remember, just because they're standing next to each other doesn't mean they're in love. Catch you in the next one!